Okay, so we're supposed to solve what number divided by what number minus 3 is, and then you add on that number divided by that number plus 3. What value of x will make that equal 2 divided by that number squared minus 9? I have had kids guess like, well, what about 1? What about 2? What about 3? What about 4? And that will take forever. Right? And so the first thing you want to do is reduce what you can. Does x over x minus 3 reduce? It does not. You cannot cancel out the x's. X over x plus 3, that also does not reduce. Now when you're doing rational equations, you will make your life so much easier if you factor. X squared minus 9, you may recall, is difference of squares. It's x plus 3, x minus 3. Just like before, you want to eliminate fractions. So how are you going to get rid of x minus 3? Wouldn't you multiply by x minus 3? On all of them? Right? Cancels. And hey, that was nice. And I'm glad I factored because this x minus 3 also canceled. Right? And then I still have x plus 3 in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply by x plus 3, right? And I kind of ran out of room there, but this goes with that, okay? And then x plus 3 and x plus 3. So the x plus 3's cancel. All the fractions are gone. I write down what's left over. What's left over is x plus 3, make sure you put that in parentheses, plus x minus 3 equals 2. That is all that's left over. Now from there, that's not quite an algebra 1 problem. Now we're like at the level of algebra 2 and maybe algebra 3. Okay? So how would you solve this? You need to get rid of parentheses, so distribute. And make that x squared plus 3x. Distribute x squared minus 3x equals 2. You have x squared, that's why I said it's an algebra 3 problem, because you didn't do anything to the second power until algebra 3. Combine like terms, I have x squared and x squared makes 2x squared. 3x minus 3x cancel equals 2. Right? Now you may recall anytime you have a quadratic and you're trying to solve, you know you're going to end up with two solutions. We learned that from the fundamental theorem of algebra. And you may also recall when you're solving a quadratic, you move everything to one side, and then you could either use a quadratic formula to solve it, or maybe you could factor. Factoring is a lot easier. Or if you're really feeling lazy, you could just type it in the graphing calculator and see where it crosses dx. Okay? And so when you have a quadratic, you minus 2 on both sides, and you get 2x squared minus 2 equals 0. Okay, we learned about quadratics in this class too. It's review from algebra 3. How do you solve that? They have a GCF of 2, leaving x squared minus 1. And x squared minus 1 factors into what? X plus 1, x minus 1. And so you may recall that the 2 does nothing to the solution. X plus 1, the solution of x plus 1 is x equals negative 1. And the solution of x minus 1, the solution is x equals 1. So had you been lazy, if you typed this in your calculator, 2x squared minus 2, it crosses at negative 1 and 1. You could have just got the answer that way. Okay, am I done? Yeah, I have to plug them back in, right? I have to make sure they're not extraneous. So again, I'm going to take negative 1, store it to x, STO, it's by the on button, store to x, and then I'm going to type x divided by x minus 3, I need to put x minus 3 in parentheses, plus x divided by x plus 3, get a decimal, and see if that equals 2 divided by x squared minus 9 in parentheses. They both equal negative 0.25, they're equal. Right? I know it's kind of hard to see. Next, I need to plug in my 1 stored to x. I'm going to go 1 stored to x. The STL button right there, right? Now you notice, but I'm not going to type in x divided by x minus 3 again. If you hit second enter, second enter, second enter 3 times, they'll take you up once. When I do it once, up and then up. So if I hit second enter, which is the bottom right button, it'll second enter, second enter. Now when I punch enter, it's going to store 1 in there. Okay? And then I also need to check 2 divided by x squared minus 9 again with 1. So I hit second enter twice, or actually 3 times, and I should also get negative 0.25. So when I plug negative 1 in, it works. When I plug 1 in, it works. So they are both actual solutions. Nothing is extraneous.